Cassie with Bead and Button, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do 3-drop peyote stitch. 3-drop peyote stitch is very similar to basic flat peyote stitch. The only difference is instead of working where you pick up one bead, sew through the next bead, pick up a bead, sew through the next bead, you're going to pick up 3 beads at a time. So it'll be pick up 3 beads, sew through the next 3 beads, pick up 3 beads, sew through the next 3 beads. So if you think of it as a unit, we'll consider 3 beads as 1 unit, which would then make it a little bit more simpler to understand. So think of it as picking up 1 unit of 3 beads, sewing through the next unit of 3 beads, pick up a unit, sew through the next unit. And I'm going to demonstrate how to do that with the St. Nicholas pattern that was designed by Josie Fab. So to bring you up to speed, this is the pattern that I've already worked this much of the bracelet. So we are on this row right here, and I like to use a sticky note to keep track of my rows. It makes it a little bit easier to follow. So we're going to, here's my next row that I'm getting ready to complete. We're going to pick up 3 white beads, which will be 1 unit, and we're going to sew through the previous row, which is only half of the squares are showing here. So you'll sew through these 3. You're going to pick up 2 light gray, 1 dark gray bead, and then you're going to sew through the previous unit of 3 beads. So let's get started and do that. So here's 3 white beads, and then we're going to pick up 3 for 1 unit and sew through the next unit of 3 beads. That tight, come back to our chart, and it says pick up 2 light gray, 1 dark gray, which will be 3 beads for our next unit. And then we're going to sew through the next unit of 3 beads. And then our chart says pick up 3 white beads. Now the advantage of using 3 white beads, which you're probably starting to realize as we've done a few of these stitches, is that you can move much more quickly. So your design will go much faster than it would if you were just picking up 1 bead at a time. Alright, so our last row, our unit in this row will be 1 white and 2 dark grays. So 1 white, 2 dark grays. Sew through the next unit of 3 beads, and this is going to complete this row. Now this particular pattern is even count peyote stitch, so in even count we don't need to modify our turn or do anything funny there. If this was odd count peyote stitch and you were still doing the 3-drop, you would just modify your turns how you would for a normal odd count peyote stitch. So I'm going to mark our row. We just completed this one. I'm going to move my sticky note up and line up for the next row, and I'll show you a few more stitches just to make sure we're all on the same page. So the next row we're going to pick up 3 white beads, and then this will be 1 unit, and we're going to sew through the next 3 beads for 1 unit. And then the next pattern says to pick up another 3 white beads. Now the other advantage of working in 3-drop peyote stitch is that it gives the designer a lot of freedom on how they want to make the image on the graph. It's a lot easier to design with 3 beads at a time versus doing 1 bead at a time. So that was the next one, and then our next 3 bead unit is going to be 1 white and 2 of the peach. So there's 1 white, we'll do 2 peaches, so this is our 1 unit, and we'll sew through the next 3 beads. So if you continue to do this throughout the entire chart here, you should have no problems accomplishing 3-drop peyote stitch.